Carved a grin from ear to ear. October's best night of the year. Candles glowing orange and bright. Jack-o'-lanterns light the night. It's a pumpkin party. Pumpkin party. Dancing in the moonlight. Spooky and hearty. From the porch steps to the street.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Writing Spooky Stories. We are on the last day. I did put a lot of information inside your head and computer, and I'm pretty sure many of you were able to do some very cool stories just by manipulating how the AI is learning about the character, the location, the time, the place, what kind of story you're looking for, and just by giving the AI one little title for a story. So we all know who I am. I'm a published author. I have my own publishing business. I do that pretty much every day, like 8 hours a day. And when I don't do it, I feel sad because that's all I can think of, writing, and getting those stories going. These are some of the books that I already published. So just for the one who don't want to be seen on YouTube, I'm normally pretty good. I only take the screen without having the names or the little images. But if just you don't want to take a chance, you can turn off your camera and you can mute if you have a lot of background sound. If not, you don't have to mute, so we can actually chat and have a bit of dialogue between each others, and we can actually learn from each others. If you cannot access your microphone, please, you can raise your hands or write a big question in the chat. And I've been told I'm pretty good into stopping and go in the chat and verify if there's anything I can do for answering your questions. At the top of the hour, you're going to receive an email. We all know about the Sudowrite email to get the 5 stars, and let me know if you like the session that we had, what you like to see next session, so I can get better and I can build classes around your needs. We did talk about the setting, how to set the stage to have a spooky story, because we're working in middle grade, we're not working in adult, so we try to get story which kind of get the kids or the children or the teenager to come in, read the story, but not to the point that they are afraid to go to bed at night, but they have like a very, very good thrill reading the story, sorry. So I did share with you in our documentation, which I shared with you earlier, I will share it again. We have the short market, which help when you link it to your future story. And we have a long market also, which I can go back inside the document and show you where it is if you need it. So basically, this is normally a starting of a daisy chain to give the AI even more information on what people are looking at once they want to have a story or writing for a certain market. So a general market will not be able to get every genre and help you with writing the one you're writing in. So I always ask you guys to go and get the market from Sudowrite, not Sudowrite, but ChatGPT or any of those advanced chat where they have a deep market research or a deep search, where you can ask for a deep market search for the genre you're writing in and for who you're writing that genre also. And the deep market really will give you a lot of good information and help the AI to stay on track and not deviate too much. So we learned a lot about the setup, how to choose your character. I also encourage you to get your own character, your own name, bring your challenge, your spooky problem that you like to see in the story. a place where there's a rising suspense. You can have your own, or you can chat inside ChatGPT, inside Sudowrite, and ask for these items too. We did all that on day 1 and 2. And a safe resolution, it is also that in our little document where you can have a ending, which is basically a suspense, or something which like let the kids know that there might be another part of that story that might be not the end of it. So we did a lot of little story together, which I put inside the document, which I will bring back again and show you. So this one was about the character. All right. So we did create our character. We did a lot of brainstorming. So we don't have to go back in there, but it's also inside the document, and you can go and have fun and create new heroes and new spooky villains. And then I also showed you how to bring your physical character inside Canvas and get some image of your character. From there, you can also get those images, bring them inside the outer Canva without an S, and start building your book covers when you have a story which really catch your interest, that you really want to write about, and possibly have it in a book between your hands. These were the one that we did, if you recall, about our pumpkin stories. We had our little cook, which were a bit like a ghost. This is our protagonist, and that's her sidekick. And that's one of the spooky guy that was in that story. So these are very nice, interesting picture that if you want to put them inside the teenager, the middle grade stories, because they like image. The children really like image. Even just one image at the start of a chapter, that sparked their imagination even more. It does on me anyway. So now on day 4, I said we're going to work with those stories, showing you how to use those images, put inside your book, even play with some of those prompts and see if we can make some story also. I know we only have an hour, so try to get quick about and try to keep up with this curriculum that I built up for you guys. So we're going to talk about the cover art a bit, chapter titles, which are very, very fun, and the font. This more like depending on what program you're using. So I'm curious on that. What do you guys using to put your book together? You can put in a chat, or you can unmute. Which program do you use to put a book together? Vellum for conversion, ideogram for covers. That's beautiful. I use that one too. Oh, Vellum. We're all on the Vellum. I love Vellum. Perfect. So Vellum. And this is the one I'm using also. I'm totally on the Vellum. Unless I'm traveling and I cannot bring my laptop with me, then I have to go with Atticus, but it's not as friendly as Vellum. So I'm hoping that one day Vellum is going to get into the iPad and iPhone, and possibly even like a website that we can bring with us everywhere. I plan to use Atticus. That's good too. I have both. Like I said, I have both because at the start, my editor didn't have a Vellum, didn't have a laptop for Vellum until I finally was able to get her a laptop and get Vellum on it. Now she's on Vellum, so that's a lot easier when we are the same program when we edit books and be able to fix it up. Yes, Vellum is only for Mac as of right now. And it's not even for iPad. It's only for laptop and computers, Mac computers and Mac laptop. So I'm hoping one day they're going to get into the rest of it. But they're doing some very cool stuff now. We have image also on the edge of the book, on the page. So no matter which side the book is in the library, if they put them properly and you have the right editing program to do it, you have an image form on the spine of the books and the inside spine too. So I'm not sure what we call the inside of the paper and not the spine of the back of the book. So, but it's kind of very, very cool. Yeah, me too. I hope they will get to a PC version of it. So here I've just got a few notes about a popular theme for the spooky story. Often explore the theme like friendship, adventure, and self-discovery while incorporating light-hearted scares, making them accessible for a young reader. The publisher, we have to know that the publisher do like the middle grade horror genre, including Scholastic. So those are the ones that are in school. Scholastic is in school, and HarperCollins. They are known for supporting diverse voices, but Scholastic is very, very strong in school, Canada and US. So if you can get your story to these guys, you're definitely going to take off as an author. The current trends show a rise in stories feature strong female protagonists, relatable humor, and interactive element, ensuring that spooky tales remain engaging and relevant for today's youth. Sorry. So how we get all that in today's world there when the kids have so much information that they can play with. So that's all right. So let's jump inside our story and all the stuff we did together. So let's get in that. So Chrome, let's get this one. So right now you see my Chrome window. Let me check for sure what you got. All right. So this is where I bring my books. So when you came in earlier and you were hearing the story, this is one of the story I did. If you're looking for people to read your story, there's obviously inside the Discord, you can have alpha and beta reader. For me, I've been a member of Medium for the last 4 or 5 years, and this is where all my alpha and beta readers are. As you can see here, I have a place where I call the Alpha Reader Heaven, and I did put the information right here inside the document that I share with you, which I will share again. You can get an account. It's free. Just need to sign in. And then you can access thousands of authors inside Medium, new author and older one, where they share their story. And this is where I share, my story. And this part here that you see is Specify. And Specify is that the one that you heard at the start when you came in.
We made it 3 blocks before Marcus doubled over, hands on his knees, gasped.
So this is where people can read and listen to the story in the same time, because I need both for me to get through the editing. So this is where my stories are. Then you have this in here. So any questions so far on what I did show you? I have the document. We used to be able to have Sudowrite to read out loud, but something happened, a disconnect happened with Specify. So let's see if I can share my full screen and show you that. So here's my full screen. Specify, so when you go in, I got to see if you can see what, yeah, okay, you see what I'm doing. So Specify has now, come on, 2. We have the app and we have something called Specify 2. And when you click on Specify 2, it's going to bring you a little box like this. And the only way to be able to read what you've done inside, I'm trying to get smaller a bit so I can access it, but I can't. Okay. I have to move things, guys, because I cannot access all the stuff. So what that do here is when you have a story inside Sudowrite, so let's get a story. I was working on a story right now for you to play with today. So what you do, you go inside Sudowrite here, you select all, you copy, and then you come back inside your Specify 2. You see the plus button in the bottom here, you click on it, and it says type or pass text. So basically you only click on this, and everything you copy from Sudowrite will come up over here, and all you have to do is start the play. We're asking a lot right now because we're doing the Zoom in the same time. So he's going to do his little going back. Normally it's easier when I go and say save. Because if you go just like this, you kind of have a funny part in the top where there's nothing going on. But because I don't have the whole story.
Hashtag scene 1. From viewpoint character. Ellie's point of view.
So this is
Chapter 1.
what we just
The
copied
mirror
from
smear.
inside Sudowrite, but it's not save. So if I want to save it, I have to go and click save. But the story is not finished. I don't want to do that. And having the story in multiple envelope when I go inside the Specify. So that's the only way we can do it now. And I have no idea why or what happened to the system to become, to become this way. Oh, great. All right, go down. So did that answer your question? Because we used to be able to highlight and click Specify and do it. And now it doesn't work anymore. Let me check if they changed something.
Make Sudowrite smarter by rating this prose.
Yeah, that's it's not reading the whole thing. It's reading other stuff here. So the player didn't load correctly. So something happening, there's a disconnect happening between the two. So I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't start during the class. So, but that's how you do it for the Specify. Yeah, AI power. Any other question? Yeah, well, not sure if that would be a huge program if we had Sudowrite to have a built-in Atticus or Vellum, because Vellum, when you have a Vellum like this, and you still see my screen, yeah, okay. When you have a Vellum like this, and now everything is going around, and you go and open stories. So if I go and get one of the story I was working on, like the curse clock, these are fairly big program by itself, because then we have every different way of reading a book. So before you publish through Vellum, you have all those different way of reading a book. So you know what this is going to look like when it is in someone iPad, iPhone, things like that. So this way you can go and basically, when you publish from this way, you can go and correct on the side right away. So it's easier to read inside the phone, which means when you go and generate this way, you have to go inside and says, okay, I'm going to generate just this, but I don't want to generate the print version. So I'm going to generate, so for the Apple only to be able to do something, and you go and continue, and it's going to generate. So make sure you have the right envelope, because I don't have the right envelope here. I'm going to generate in something else, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going inside my Vellum, and I'm going to create a new folder called the clock. Create, and then you choose that, then you generate. So I'm just going to generate for Apple, ask him to show me the file, and this is what the file is going to look like. When you do that, the EPUB is what you bring inside the Apple, or also the KDP. And then each time you do something like that, they also give you your nice little image that you put on your book cover, which is all inside the Vellum. So it's a lot of work for a program to do all these and be able to publish, preview, and do all these sections at the same time, which I really like for one thing, because it's connecting to my Grammarly too, so I can go and correct all my error inside Vellum because it's connected to that. But even Vellum is not connected to the Specify. So everything from Vellum, what I like to do in Vellum is, if I'm talking too much or I'm going sidetracked, let me know, because I'm just showing you how I publish my books. So it's part of what I was supposed to show you anyway, but I can get sidetracked. So if I get too sidetracked, make a noise and tell me to come back on track, okay? So when I go and I finish one of my book this way, I got through all my chapter and I do see my correction here if I agree with vellum or not. And I do all my fixing. I like to get all my titles well defined. Normally I take my title, I copy them and I bring them to the top. So this way it's over here and it should not be twice. Okay, because that's chapter 9. So, you can see right away what it's going to look like. So I go and erase that. So on chapter 9 and the title, and then a lot of fixing to be done. But once it's done and I'm happy with it, what I do is I go inside the file folder, I go under export everything as a Word document. And normally I keep everything inside my vellum under the clock envelope that I created. I save. And from there, I go back inside my Specify, but this time I take the other one. I take the Specify one with the one which has nothing, where you can actually add a file. And when I do that, I just go and select the file, or you can drop the file in. And I will just go and get the file by show the file. That's not the right one. Go back. I wanted to do something faster, but it's not going to go faster. So let's go this way. Vellum. Let's get the clock. Clock. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I am. So we have the clock here, which I kind of put a little picture, which is kind of fun because this is not the one. Where's my other clock? So I had already one done this morning. Here we go. The clock is here. So I get my little duck over here. And let's get this there. And I want to bring that in, drop it. So this way the file is getting all in one shot and all chapter by chapter. It's really, really nicely done. And I can just go and start the reading this way. And I can follow along this way here, or I follow along inside vellum itself. Let's see if I can close that. It's taking a lot of my computer memory here. So this is how I use vellum, Specify, Grammarly, and Sudowrite all together. So far, so good. All right. Next. So you have you have how to get to the medium.com. You can go in, you can sign up, you can read all my story. You can bring your own story in it. So you can get people to start reading your story too. So it's a place for authors. So I strongly suggest you go and do it and have people to read exactly there. And you can share it with all your friends. So it's a kind of very nice place to be. We did talk, did I told you about the Sudowrite contest? I put it, the link is inside of it. So in November, you can play the Sudo No and get your 1,000,000 credit. So it's the last one here, write a novel in November challenge inside the link document. So go and sign up if you haven't signed up yet and follow the instruction and add your name to get your 1,000,000 credit by the end of November. So it's always nice to have all those credit. So we have all our information on Spooky Story, our markets. You have the short one, and then you have the long one. I also share a lot of story that we wrote, and the pumpkin one that also was written with Claude. And there on day 3, you have all our prompts, all the information that I tried to share with you. Hopefully I did a good job, but it's always nice to go back and reread everything. So you have all the comment template, how to fix each little prompt, the story concept and things like that, how to bring your monster type. So I got all the information there. So you have every prompt, and you have the prompt to have little fun. So some people are playing with it because I can see here people are using it and starting to write story with it. Then I added 5 more prompt in the bottom. Oh, I think it's the same prompt, but I was wondering where they were all, so I just put them back in so you can go and play with those, as long as you don't forget that you have the major prompt. So this is one prompt to go in one box, and then you need that, where is that other prompt? It's the command template, all purpose, create a complete. Always looking for that prompt. I don't know. There, output. They generate this one here. So this one is the one that is very important to use. This is the one who belongs to each story. And then there's one that you can actually just rewrite to be a prompt, like this one here. Yeah, that one. That one is the one which should work with every story. The only thing with this prompt, you can change the number of words. You can change the percentage of the spooky or funny. You can change spooky for horror. You can put funny instead funny. You can put humor. You can play with those words. You can also change the structure. If you don't want just 10 chapter, you can put 15 chapter, 8 chapter. It's up to you. So this is very nice to play with. You can change the age group too. Just by changing these information, and even if you use the same information here, can make a huge difference. And one thing that I was talking with someone over in Discord, the location and the time, if a foggy side village, try to be more precise and get something. I mean, if you have people who read your book inside your area, sorry, I was drinking some coffee, or family who knows you're writing books and you like to get them a bit of spookiness, put down the place where you grew up. So the foggy seaside village of somewhere in Quebec or something like that, or New Brunswick, wherever you are. Don't be afraid to put it there. And then the season, early winter. Now, you can put down that, okay, I like to see cell phone and things like that. So you can put like 2020 to 2025. You can put the early winter of 2025, which is basically would be in the future. So probably better to put early 2024 to be in the past tense for our story. But it's all kind of I don't see a lot of people. There is just the fiction people will use in the future tense. But do they really use future tense? Anyone here work on fiction, science fiction, and ever work with the future tense when they write a book? That's something I never stopped to think about. Because at the end of the book, if you have a series which coming and you're writing the book on 2025 and it says, well, the future book will be in 2026. I wonder if that's kind of a turn of event that you can play with the tense inside Sudowrite. Something to play with in November. Stay tuned. You just gave me an idea. I'll give myself an idea. Any questions so far on these prompts, and any of you play with any of those and got a nice story out of it? Yes, no. Okay. All right, so on day 4. Day 4 here, we have everything I just talked to you about. So here I start playing a little bit with a few things inside Sudowrite, and then what else can I show you? Yeah, how to bring stuff inside the Canva. I got a really great idea for the story I will be writing. Cool. So did you choose your own character, or did you leave ChatGPT or the brainstorming inside Sudowrite to do it? Both? Cool. That's what I like too. Like one of those here, I did go and play a little bit with some of the information that I already taught you guys. Basically, when you spark the hero and all that stuff, so I says, okay, I'm going to play with those little questioning that we had from day 1 to day 3. and play a bit with the right button. We all know that Dahlia loved the right button. So I went and played with the right button a little bit and some of those questions. And in the right button, I went inside the writing setting. So the writing setting, it's over here. So this is what I was playing with earlier today. So we'll go back to day 4. Let's play some game, that one here. All right, so first I went in and I got a little story that I was playing with. And here, this is what the fun part is about this one. So it says, okay, I'm going to play with my name. It's a female. I give her an age. And then I did go inside Sudowrite and ask, okay, tell me about Manon, give her a last name. So he gave her Dupuis. Give her her level of creativity, and she's determined, empathic, all the information. She has a physique, her hair, her eyes, and things like that. Then it has the time period because I did ask. I says, okay, I want something, but something which maybe children can relate in school around here because I'm in the Ontario area. So it says, okay, I want a story which is in the year 2025, and I want the location in Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. And I want the city is a blend of classic Canadian architecture and modern technology, reflecting the country commitment to stability and innovation. Sudowrite was very cool about the city kind of thing. So, and then there's a bit of background. So everything was with the information that I asked Sudowrite about. Give me something about Manon and the location. So I give Sudowrite the location, the year, and the place, and start playing with that. So I got some information, and then I said, let me see, I think it's this one here. I did create a small story based on that. So what I did is I put Manon, she's a girl, all the information. And then here I said in the extra says, I noticed you want to create. So this is the information that I cut basically from the chat with chat. And he's telling me about what he wants. And then he says, you know, when we have those prompts that we can bring and do our own plugin, so your own plugin, you can actually talk to the plugin. You know, you can use the voice to text and say, okay, I want a plugin to do this, and I want to get the information about the information here. And that's what it gave me here. So this is where I got the information of this part here. I just went inside Sudowrite and I said, I want more information on the character, the personality, So this is how I got first the story and the information on it. But the information on it is more that I use my other app that I got. I will show you that too. So basically from there, I got this and that, and I put at the first person present tense. I use Muse. I don't use Muse often, but I use Muse this time. Let me check the chat here. I saw something in the chat. Yes, the character. If you have a character and you know the character you want to bring in, like here it's my name that I brought in, the location, everything else. It does change a lot of the story. As you know, there's all the AI will never write the story twice the same. So if you change a little bit from the previous information that were brought in the previous prompt, and instead of putting Lily Montgomery, and you put Manon Dubois, and instead of the location that's old manor, you put it's a old church or a old hospital in Ontario, Canada. You don't even have to tell the city, just say Ontario, Canada or New York, USA. The AI will go to town and is going to get something very, very cool for you out. And that will change the whole concept, and the whole story will go in a totally different way, in a very nice, spooky way, but different way. So yes, a small change inside your little prompt and a big change can happen in your story. So I got that little story, which is 7,300 words with the information I asked, just with this prompt, this my name, the girl, and that. And then here I wanted to have the information, and then based on this input, create a comprehensive character profile that capture the essence of who this person is, where they exist in time and space, and what drive them. I'll provide enough details for you to immediately start writing a scene with this character. So the character is that, and basically it's a different way of brainstorming a story or a character here. And so we have that little Manon here inside Ottawa area, and then it's telling me about her, and this is what Muse do. Muse is not like excellent. Muse is made for telling stories, but it's telling me a story about that character to describe her and also start a story. So she's at school and all that stuff. So it's very interesting to brainstorm, and it's giving me a bunch of other character and things like that. So after that, all I did is I says, okay, I even expand here if I'm not wrong. So when I receive a request immediately, like I said, I play a lot with Sudowrite. So when I provide this character name, show expand. So when I receive the request immediately, so I just different way of trying to get information that I play with. So nothing has stopped you from asking a question here, anywhere inside Sudowrite, not in here, but in here, and use the expand button. And I will show you another thing I did with expands also. So just for me, it's having fun. If you have too much credit on your hands and you want to just have fun, you can just put a sentence inside here and expand it. And if it's a question, and expand it, you'll find some interesting stuff coming out of this. So here we have the story that I ask over here. It's there. Then I did go and ask with my dual image to give me an image of what the story is all about. It's kind of gloomy story, but it has me the long version and then the condensé version, because you only have below 100 words to use visualize inside Sudowrite. You have a middle grade child character profile template to share, to use with any AI. They are all middle grade stories that I'm teaching this time. I'm really trying not to go into adult spooky. And this is why it's kind of I'm trying to stay in the spooky, but with the humor for children. So everything that you have in here are middle grade things for that, but the profile, they're over here. And then we have some in earlier, I think that was on day 1 that I talk a lot about the profile. So I invite you, Sherry, if you want, you can go on day 1 of the session of 4. You'll find all the information about how to build character for middle grade, because we use Sudowrite, this part here. We went inside the brainstorm. So I'm not sure if you were there for the first day when we play with this. But this is where we got and play a lot for character, because they have a lot of brainstorming tools in Sudowrite to brainstorm character. All right, where was I? I got sidetracked. No, the template I have are basically everything you have here. Create a spooky middle grade and all that, and then all the prompt from over here, where this is the template that I'm using. So a concept, any concept, you can have a coffee in the morning and see outside and says, there's a very spooky mailman outside, and use a sentence here, a concept for your story. And then you put a name, the age, you can give some threads. So basically you follow each and every one of those little questions, which are for the AI to create your character. So this is the template that I use, and it works beautifully for the story. So the ratio of the spookiness and the humor and all that. So that would be the template to use. And I tried a lot of template, but this one is really, really, really good to work for character. All right. Are we good so far? Is there more question? Okay. All right. So I got my visualize from my draw prompt. It's nice to have another program to do the information here, because here there's a lot more wording to work with. And the only way to get the information with this, it would be to go inside one of those to get this more detailed information. It's going to give me, take always a little bit of time to do so. So there's two prompts, and this is the dual image prompt. So the second one is the one for Sudowrite because it's below 100 words. And this one is for the more advanced AI where they can take more words. So this is one of the way that I did play and make a little story with the character and all the information. So the second play that I did first, remember when I said I play with those little words? So what make a middle grade story scary is in darkness, it's light in the dark. So I did use the expand button for that. So I only took the sentence here and I click on expand. And this is what expand gave me. So basically I'm asking a question. So what make a middle grade story scary is in darkness, it's the lightning in the dark. If you ask a group of teens of 10 years old what they want from a story, the first answer is blood or monsters. Nor even isn't blood or monster, nor even a shivering, prickling dread that older readers crave. Instead, they want a giggle stuck in their throat, and the kind that come from telling ghost stories at the sleepover, flashlight trembling in a pillow fort, every shadow or portal, every creak in the wall a secret signal. So it kind of is very interesting, the information it gave me here by doing the expand button. So another way of brainstorming. Then after that, I did go and play with how do we build one unforgettable heroes and one spine-tingling villain. So another way to create a character. So this one, I simply use the right button for this. So I just copied the sentence here and I went at the end and I went in this one here, the auto write, and I did go auto write. Now my auto write has this in it, and this is why I put it over here inside day 4. Where is my day 4? I had an image earlier. Where is it? There. Okay. So on my day 4, I put this here. So this is exactly what you see here. So I went there and says, okay, this is a lot of fantasy to create and all that. So I put it at the most. I only want one card and the maximum words because I know it works very, very well. And I use excellent. And I did go in my key details, says I want 70% horror and 30% humor. And I put down, this is for the age 10 to 16 years old. That says I'm not going to go any higher because then it's going to be story that they cannot go to bed at night. So I cut it down at 16. So just having this here and clicking on the right button, and it's just going to go and write. Where was my little cursor? So I write these thoughts in the notebook, starting at the question on my screen. Building a hero and a villain, that's what they want from me. Character who stick in the mind like splinter under the skin. I tap my pen against my teeth, watching the cursor blink accusingly. Heroes need a flaw, of course, not just the cosmetic kind. So see, just by putting the cursor, which is supposed to have been put right over here, and it gave me information on villain, and it started to give me also a description of a villain and a hero. So it's kind of interesting to have a different way of brainstorming those characters that you're looking for and having a conversation between you and the Sudowrite. So it's not very, some of the stuff that's the Muse very expensive. The draft was not so bad, but the right button was just 997 credit. So it's not that bad to use those little button over here to have a little bit of fun. So that's the right button. That's another one. So one I did for by mistake and things like that. So, and the same thing here. All right. The last one that I play with is generate 3 heroes and villain. Basically, I went back to our first day where we were trying to figure out something about how to get these in. And one thing that I don't show you is the first draft. So I use first draft. So first draft is very simple. You take something that you want, like that, generate 3 heroes, villain pair for a middle grade spooky story. And you go into a untitled document like this. Basically, it has absolutely nothing in it. It's not supposed to have anything. So, okay, hold on. I have to get one which is blank. So you take a totally blank one. You go under More Tools, and then you go for your first draft, which is over here. And in the first draft, you get this little box here where you can put your information in. You can start brainstorming question or little story. You can put everything you want in here. As soon as you click enter, though, it's going to start writing. So just in case you haven't used the right button, the first draft, this is what it does. So basically, you just click go, and it's going to go and write about what you're looking for. And that's one thing that Nicole likes so much is the little sparkling going on. So it's going to write, it can write quite a bit of information. So I'm going to simply show you what he wrote. So use the first draft. And oh, and here I'm having a problem. It's not letting me opening. A little glitch. I have a little glitch on my computer. It doesn't allow me to go underneath. All right. So Whisper of Hollow Brook. So I use first draft, the dual image prompt, visualize, and chat. And it really doesn't allow me to go down. That's not fun. Let's see, I'm going to do a refresh. Sometime it just need a refresh. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, now we got everything. So we have our, and I'm going to go down. So this is the first draft that I got earlier by putting that little paragraph of question. So this is the answer of it. So in a quiet town of Hollow. So this one is generate 3 heroes. So he's telling me that in a story about the quiet town of Hollow Brook, nestled between rolling hill and dense forest, story of a ghost and mysterious happenings that become part of the local fabric. It was a place where children grew up hearing tales of brave heroes and sinister villains, each with their own fears and secret. For a middle grade spooky story, 3 heroes and villains pairs emerge. Each reflect deep roots anxieties that many young readers could relate to. So we have our first pair centered around Lily and the Shadow Weaver. Lily is a shy girl who often feel invisible among her peers. Despite her kind heart and bright mind, she struggled with the fear of being ignored or misunderstood. She worried that her idea will never be taken seriously and that she will always be left out of the fun. On the other side, the Shadow Weaver is the mysterious figure who lurks in the edge of the dark forest. Cloaked in swirl darkness, the Shadow Weaver embodies Lily's fears and invisibility and beyond forgotten. It weaves shadow that can swallow a person whole, making them disappear from the world entirely, leaving only their echo behind. So this is what first draft did. I did go and use, after it was done writing a thousand something words, I used the draw prompt and asked for an image of what that can look like. So these are some of the image that came out of that little story that we just got for the heroes. Says, okay, that's cool. I have some idea for future stories and things like that. So what did I do after that? Because I remember at the top it says, okay, visualize. Then I did a chat. Why did I did a chat? I did go and ask for what make that middle grade story scary. Where is that question? I did go and bring it somewhere else. Where is it? Okay, we're going to do it together. So if I have to say that, because I did ask if the story was good and why, but it didn't save it. So I have my visualize. Oh, I know where it is. Sorry about that. Here, I know I did it. It says I did it. So I did go to the bottom and I did go and ask chat. Says, okay, which of the three heroes villain pair for the middle grade spooky stories? Which one is the best and why? So here is the most interesting and can be turned into the bestseller and why. So it says all three heroes villain pair have strong potential, but Lily and the Shadow Weaver might be the most interesting and relatable for middle grade audience. Lily's fears of invisibility and beyond ignore is something many children experience, particularly in school setting. The Shadow Weaver embodied that fear, create a tangible threat that resonates deeply. This pair can be turned into a bestseller because it taps into a universal theme of self-acceptance and the importance of finding one voice, which can appeal to both kids and adults. The spooky element of the Shadow Weaver adds intrigue, while the journey of overcoming fear offers a powerful message of empowerment that can engage reader. Max and Sarah's story also have merit, but Lily's experience stands out due to its direct connection to the social dynamic many children face. It has a strong emotional stake, relatable conflict, and an engaging supernatural element that can captivate a wide audience. So these, once you have a small idea of a story, like we did with this first draft, and ask which one is possibly the bestseller, which one and why. So it's interesting to see what comes out of it, so that you can figure out which one you want to take and do the story with. So far, so good. And the last one is a bonus that I did for you guys for today. On day 4, I brought 5 new items to work with. So these are 5 new prompts to play with. And why I did bring those in says, okay, we learned that we can do everything in one shot, which is great. But the genre sometimes has a good concept to change with. So that's what I did here. I used one of those, the mirror in the attic. And how I used that one, I went inside and I have to change here. Story 1. So I play with that little information on top. Remember that prompt that I told you about, the general prompt that you can use to write about 25,000 words, about 10 chapters and all that? I use the same prompt inside the scene box. And the extra information I gave you with supernatural psychological horror, every reflection in the town of Brightvale start behaving differently. So it's one of those prompts that I gave you. And I play with two different of the mode to work with. So I says, okay, let's see what is going to happen if I reverse this information and all that. So this one gives me a 3,000 words story. So I use Muse this way, and I use it at the normal setting, which is 7. And this is what came out of it, okay? So 3,476 words. As you can see, it's not huge chapter, but it's more along the line that select all, satellite copy. Let's get a new blank one here. Open the draft. It's more along the line that we have chapters like that you can actually bring in this way and write from a brand new perspective, chapter by chapter in one shot. So as you remember here, we have to go basically make a search for chapter and get each time we see chapter. Let's go into the edit, find, search, find chapter. So each time I see chapter here, and there should be another chapter 2 is right there. So we have chapter 2, and we have to ask for the next one. So we have chapter 3, and so on. So this is one way to go about it. Obviously, these are big, and when you go and ask to create that in one shot, you can ask to reduce it. So do you want me to show you that? How to reduce that? Or you already know how to do it? Yes? All right. So basically you go for each of those, and that's the part which is going to take the longest, is to find each of those and put them as a chapter. So bear with me. And if you have to go, I understand it's recorded. It's going to be uploaded over the week, the rest of the week. Sometimes I mix up also in my days, as you know already, because I said tomorrow is the next day, is the next class, but it wasn't that class. It was my French class the next day. So when I says, oh my God, I really have to check those calendar better before I say out loud that the next class is the one that will finish this session of 4. 9, 10. All right, so we have our 10 chapter here. And there you can actually add more information. So here, very simple information. You can say, please fix my scenes into chapters 4. Sorry. You can put anything you want there to fix your information up here. And then you choose what you want. I will go with excellent because I find that excellent works better for me in that kind of information. And you just go and say, go. Now you can see here it says shorten. And this is where you can ask to just go and write the way it is, or you just go shorten. When you go shorten, now we have to let it do its work. It's going to shorten each of those and turn it into outline scenes. So this is how you shorten the information, and then after that you can ask to write the story. Just give it a second, about 20 seconds, and it should give us a proper scene box. During that time, any more question? Did I put anyone to sleep? We're asking a lot. I'm asking a lot to the AI and Sudowrite, just let you know that. I'm terrible for that. A bit like John. John is asking crazy stuff to the AI. I'm doing the same thing. Oh, there you go. There we go. So all that big information we had got put down into only 7. So it cut down even the amount of information because I asked him to basically make the story for teenager and all that stuff. So if I just say fix my scene, you will have just fix my scene and keep the original. So from that point on, I can go and get my favorite little prompt here. Where's my day tree? Going to take this prompt over here. I'm going to make sure it's going to write enough. So we fixed that. Now I'm going to put this here. So 25,000. I want to make sure we have similar information that we had earlier. First person, past tense, 12. Do you see anything in here that I should fix? Oh yeah, discovery haunted book in the library. So this is not about the library book. So change the character name, yeah. So middle grade spooky chapter book, first person past tense featuring Maya. So we're featuring, what's the name of the character we have here? Elise and Azol. So which one is the main character? Haley Merrow. Now, if I had more question about this, I will go and do my my story in reverse to get all the information I'm looking for to put in here. So here we're featuring this person, 12 haunted book in the library. So that one is not about books in the library. It's about the mirror. So I'm going to take the mirror doesn't reflect you. And I'm going to bring that in this one here. So the book person covering the haunted book library. I could have probably keep discovering the mirror doesn't reflect you. So discovering the mirror that doesn't reflect you, maintaining a 70-30 balance. So 70% spooky, 30% funny, or we go at 80% and 20. You can play with those numbers. Scary, funny moment. Structure 10 chapter with a cliffhanger at the ending, including the vivid sensory detail, fast pacing, and surprise twists. Goes, and then we have to put down here again because we don't have, I don't think we have goes, sensory pacing, surprise twists. What will be the surprise twist in this here? Go back into my day 4 prompt. So the hook and the tense, every reflection, Britain, the mirror, self-wanted. Now her mirror, self-wanted. Why is the hook for teen? Let's get the tagline over here. So including detail, structure, facing moment, where I could have probably put everything here too. Fast pacing, surprising twist, ghost turn into where? What if your reflection didn't want you to come back? The tone of the age appropriated. So that's how I kind of have fun with these prompts, because you can put pretty much all the information as long as it's kind of similar to what's going on top, and it's all follow up. So with a bit more time, I would have gone and get, like I said, my story in reverse and put all the proper information and decide if I want just 10 chapter or more. But just for the speed of it, because we already passed an hour together, I'm going to go with this and see what the AI is going to tell me, if it's happy with this or if it's going to say, hey, it's totally screwed up. Can I see that online? So this is how I play with all the prompt that I have and get pictures to really go with my information in my head. So only 7 scenes instead of 10, and some scene cover too many events. Quick fix, split. Well, we can split this in. Let's see if it's going to give us our 10 scenes, or we can simply say go and generate and let him play during his writing. Let's go and generate just for the fun of it. And nothing stopped me after that to come back and duplicate this thing here, delete everything that come down underneath, and when he says that he wants to split, says yes, split it, and see the difference between the two. You're welcome, Sherry. Here we go. We have a story. So the girl in the mirror. I stood in the girl bathroom. Oh, she's not in the attic. She's in the bathroom, pointing to my reflection like it was math problem I could solve. My hair, a mess of brown wave that never behave, stuck out in all direction. Interesting. Kind of interesting what's going on this side. Let me put it there. All right, so The Reflection Dilemma is the title of that story. Now it's still writing, so that means he's not going to stop, he's going to do, so he's in chemistry class with Mr. Paulson, droned on about the periodical table while I stared out the window. Rain pattered against the glass, turning the world outside into a blurry watercolor. Interesting. Another story which would be cool to, oh, I like that. These parts are very, very fun with Vellum because now you can put down the texting, which is inside Vellum. You have a special place when it's a text from a phone. You can say who's texting. So you have those back and forth, which I really like in Vellum. So like me, Hazel. So how these difference between the texting. So, you know, it's texting on the phone, which is pretty cool. So we have that. Scene 2 is chapter 2, and it's still going. And going. 3,000 words. We are on chapter 3. So he's maintaining 1,000 to 1,005 per chapter, which is good for a middle grade stories. So we are on 10 of the stuff Russell from the closet. I like to catch those little sentences when I go through like that. Let's trade. The mirror Ellie's smile grew wider, more eager. She wrote again, let's trade. So every little chapter finished by like a little cliffhanger or a sentence which keep the reader in the loop of reading. And we're on chapter 4. So, and I'm going to let him finish writing the story because it seems pretty interesting there. I was going to show you the difference between Muse and Excellent. Excellent does listen a lot better to these kind of prompt. Muse do a lot of fun information too, but not as long as the Excellent does. So on this, I'm going to say thank you because I know you guys have to go to work and do other stuff. And then we have the other session after that is with the plugin, how to do plugin or use plugin for scary stories with our girl there. So I will invite you to show up in about less than an hour from now. She will teach a class on how to use the plugin to do stories like that. So thank you very much for being with me today. That was the last session of 4. I will upload it in the next couple of days. It's going to be uploaded. And I will upload the story here with some pictures. And don't forget, I put them on Medium too, so you can go on Medium. The one I like, I don't put them all on Medium, just the one I really like that I want my alpha and beta reader to read and see what they think about it. So on this, I appreciate all of you. Have a great one. And I see you next month. Bye-bye for now.
Hey, carved a grin from ear to ear. October's best night of the year. Candles glowing orange and bright. Jack-o'-lanterns light the night. It's It's a pumpkin party, pumpkin party, dancing in the moonlight, spooky and hardy, from the porch steps to the street, orange heads with glowing heat. It's a pumpkin party tonight. Triangle eyes that flicker and stare, zigzag teeth without a care. Some are silly, some are mean, the coolest pumpkins you've ever seen. It's a pumpkin party, pumpkin party, dancing in the moonlight, spooky and hardy, from the porch steps to the street, orange heads with glowing heat. It's a pumpkin party tonight. When the trick-or-treaters come around, we'll guard the houses, not a sound, until November steals our flame. We'll keep on glowing all the same. It's a pumpkin party, hey! Pumpkin party, hey! Join us in the moonlight, hey! Everybody start